After narrowly missing out on the playoff last year, you'll be delighted to know that the team that finished in fourth actually got promotion. So we could have had that because we were stronger than them. But we didn't. So what we're going to do, make sure it happens this year. Welcome back, Club 3, Episode 7 of the wonderful Doleboy. We have our first game of the season, in the league that is, against Amora. I'm going to level with you. We've already played a cup game and I've already been knocked out. But I'll show you that very shortly. We have a bunch of new faces in the club and a few old ones that you're already aware of because you can see them still. What we're going to do is run into the transfers first, but before we go through them, if you could do me the favour of liking and subscribing, if you're happy and enjoying what we brought to you so far, then yeah, do me the favour and do all that madness. It would be greatly appreciated. Transfers wise, we'll do our outs first. So we have sold Dennis Martins, who was our best centre back at the time. He's left us for 150 grand. Along with him, we know that Gonçalo Gregorio's left on a free, and was sold Califo Balde for 4 grand, but we don't really care about him. We'll go back to Martins. So we know last year he did pretty well for us. He was just shy of a 7 overall on average. Pretty strong defensive character. So it's a shame to see him go, but he's done bits for us in the past. So he deserved to move to Lugo, who I believe are in the Spanish second tier. He has been replaced with a number of players. We'll start off with the centre-backs then. So we know that we'd offered the contract to Matis Rio at the end of last episode. He did actually join us with relatively affordable wages and no expectation to play, which is good. We know about him, we know what he brings to us, and he did pretty well when he was with us on loan last year. Alongside him, we've also brought in Derek Agiakwa. I think that was right. Pretty strong at the moment, not as strong as Martins was, but he's got pretty hefty potential. According to this, he's going to be a good Liga Portugal Goodwin player. Along with him, we have brought in Rodrigo Rigo from Sporting B. He's came in on a free, and he's now our best centre-back. He's worth between 200 and 400 grand, apparently. I don't know where they get these numbers from, but they do. But look at him. He does exactly what we want him to. If we want him to a centre-back, defend. It does include his composure, which could do with a bit of improvement, but it's by no means bad. Other than that, everything else is really strong. He's played 1 game for us so far and got a 6.9. Considering we lost that game, then it's not too bad. So hopefully he'll do bits for us over the year. My only issue is that he's not massively tall, but he's still got 14 jumping reach. So it's tall enough to be a centre-back, but I like someone to be a proper aerial threat in this game. With the loss of Bertrand at left-back and the dire need of cover at right-back, we've brought in a few full-backs, as I'm sure you'd expect. Firstly, we brought in Ricardo Tavares, who is a left-back, 30 years old, but looks pretty strong for everything we need. We're going to play him full-back attack, so it does include a few more things. But again, they're quite strong for him if we're looking at their attributes. He is labelled as a good player for our division, and that's exactly what we want from him. Back up at right back, we brought in Gonçalo Negrão. He's not as strong currently, but he does have a nice little bit of potential to give a little bit of an option to be able to rest our friend at right back in Diogo Rodriguez. You've probably noticed that Rigo is pretty strong cover across the whole back four. He's a pretty good player. So if needs be, we can shuffle him out onto one of the fullback positions and then bring in another centre-back because he'll still do as good there, which is helpful. More competition at left-back to challenge Tavares. We have brought in Teddy Allo. I was under the impression that he had an option to purchase fee of 22k, but turns out I'm wrong. He's coming in with good kind of ability for our division and potential to be good quality for the top tier. So had we signed him, he'd have been cheaper wages than we're currently paying at the 1.2k. But taking that into account, he looks pretty strong. He's definitely more defensive minded though, which is a little bit of a concern because he doesn't quite know how to dribble, touch, has no kind of concept of off the ball, and his crossing leaves a lot to be desired as well. Just in front of the defence, we've brought in quite a few midfielders. You're already aware of us bringing in João Madureira. If we were to sign him, I think they'll want about 120k, so it's not a vast amount, but it might not be the fact that we find out he's worthwhile. But we've got him on loan for the year, paying pretty much nothing, £275 a week. So we can see if he does bits for us in this league like he did with San Joanense when he was with us. Alongside him, we've brought in Marco Stamenic, who is a New Zealander, Kiwi, centre mid. He can be playmaker, ball winning mid, box to box, all sorts of stuff. And as you are aware, he is one of the stronger players. We do still have Diogo Castro knocking about. I have offered him a new contract, which he accepted, which moved his release fee from $750 to $875. So I'm still offering him contracts and trying to get rid of that release fee. But he's not fancying talking to me at the moment because I gave him a contract like 2 weeks ago. And to finish off our centre mids that we've signed, we've picked up Alfonso Tayera. He's coming in at 33 years of age, £800 a week, only the 1 year contract. So if he does do really well for us, we'll probably find out that he leaves. But also he might start dropping off a cliff at the moment at 33, especially since he's a ball winner. So we might not have the legs that he needs to do said work. So we'll keep an eye on him, but I think he'll do a good job for us this season, hopefully get us promoted with that. In the wide positions, we've brought in Diogo Figuera, who can drop all the way back to right back if we need to, as we know that our other right back isn't the strongest, or he can play out on the right side or left side if needs be. He came in really cheap. I think he was about, £220 a week at the moment. He's got decent potential as well, so he's definitely a fringe player. Decent for the division below, and he's got potential to be a good player for our division. So I'm not expecting him to get lots of game time, but when we need someone else in there to give Yuck a rest, or a new right winger a rest, we can do so. And that new right winger is Giovanni Jr. He's coming in from Famalicão, probably pronounced that wrong, as a left-footed right winger, inverted winger. Love to see it. He's only asking for 20k. He's being paid £1,000 a week at the moment. Again, I haven't got an option to purchase. I need to find out who that player was that had an option to purchase fee. He is at the end of his contract this year, but he does have an option, like an optional contract extension with his team. So if we can jump in there and get him signed up, if we want him, that might be able to work. But we'll have to see what happens there. But that does run the end of our signings. If it is that I missed one of them, please do tell me, because I think I've gone through them all, but I'm not 100% sure. It does leave our squad looking as follows. That's not the one I wanted to click on. Pretty strong all around. There isn't any weak spots at the moment. Maybe we could have a look at a new striker, because we've only got good strikers, and realistically, we're going to be wanting to look at getting a great striker. So I have been seeing if there was anyone that we can sign there that could help, but it's a struggle. Struggle is what it is. Yeah, Ferreira in goal, back three, centre mids are very strong, wingers are not too bad. I wanted to bring in Hungbo because I thought his name was funny, but he's not feeling it, and he wants about £2,500 a week, and I just can't offer him that, so I'm not going to. And then we have Antunes and, funnily enough, Castro. He can just play everywhere. And not only can he play everywhere, he can play everywhere very well. We are I've been recording for 15 minutes. I don't even know if I'm going to play the first game of the season at this rate. I think I might just show you the highlights of our cup game that we missed out on. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll show you the highlights of this, and then we'll come back at the end of the transfer window. I'll give you a final update as to what we've done, and then we'll get cracking into the season. Thinking our first game may very well be the Taca de Portugal placard. We'll tie it up with one of them. Depends. Ooh, feeling a bit spicy. But we played Famalicão, who in the Allianz Cup first phase. Second phase would have seen us playing against Olhanense, who were a team from our division. This is one that's just limited to the top 2 tiers. It's very frustrating. I think we had enough to beat them. We definitely did. But annoyingly, Castro had other ideas and decided to get himself sent off at the point when we were 1-1, 2-1 up, sorry. So we'll watch the key highlights. We are on the highlight for the first goal now. So you can see they're playing quite well, but we're like, no, I'll take that off your hands. Castro through the middle, outside to Rodriguez on the right, cuts it across the front of the 6-yard box. Nice, easy goal. Love to see it. This made me want to just kind of give up on life. When the first block came in, and our man was kind of doing this little dive thing, and it caught off his foot and went towards the goalie, I thought, this is it. They're going to score. And then all sorts of other madness happened. Just this. What's going on? That happened. Not even... I'm livid. And then this is the own goal for them. So it was our goal. And I don't know how to word own goals, to be quite honest. But it ended up in their net. And their player kicked it in their net. So that was helpful for me, should we say, nonetheless. Richelli and Nascimento, I never know how to pronounce that. So they try and put the ball out onto their left wing. We get the ball back and we're like, come on, sort this out now. We'll have a bit of it. Allo coming in from left back. He's got a man outside to the left of him, uses him. Maria cuts himself all the way to the byline, whacks a ball across, and Nascimento just tries to get there in front of our striker and kind of stabs it into his own goal. Then Diogo Castro decides to get himself sent off with a straight red, which I wasn't paying attention for this goal, for this red card. So I haven't actually seen it myself, but I assume he just runs over and snaps him in half. So I think this one's Castro. I might be completely wrong. Let me have a look. Here he is, yep. So he runs over and he just two-footed him. Why would you do that? We're 2-1 up against a team in the division above us, and we're deserving it. But no. Just try and break someone in half. Good idea, lad. They've then got a corner, and Rigo decides to push someone over. So both of their goals could have been avoided. Don't push someone over in the area, and don't just be a absolute prune. But yeah. Then went to penalties. We were a man down. Didn't necessarily matter the man down so much when we got to penalties, but it was just enough to kind of mess us about. I'm not going to make you watch the penalties, but yeah, we lost. So that annoyed me. But it's not the biggest thing. And one last thing I want to do before we go is just see how we line up against the rest of the division. So we are the 10th best team in the league at the moment, but the way we played and the way we're playing, I'm pretty happy to say that we can put up a decent challenge for the top. We have been joined with 3 promoted teams in Figueras, Amora, and União de Santarém, whoever they are. And then we've had 3 relegated teams in Farense, Villafranquense, I don't know how to pronounce half of these, and Gil Vicente. So, yeah, those 2 that have came down are favourites to go straight back up. We know Benfica would be strong. Tondela are pretty strong as well by the looks of that. So it's just not favourable for us. It just isn't. Loic Badiashile is in the division with me. Don't know why they've let that happen. And who is our best player? Fabio Ferreira, who's our goalkeeper, obviously isn't getting anywhere near that team. And Diogo Rodriguez, who is our right back, who's been pushed out by Nobrega from Mafra, who's worth between 500,000 and 1.5 million. That's a bit disgraceful. I don't think there's anyone. Striker in the team's worth 7.6 million. It's worth more than my whole team. It's worth more than my club. We're in for a hell of a battle this year. I might go and see if I can get myself an affiliate and see if we can get a stupidly good striker on loan, because I currently have very little money to play with. Scratch that. I don't have very little money to play with. I have negative money to play with. So I might have to do some madness to be able to get us a good striker. Not that Antunes isn't a good striker, to be fair, but he's the only striker I have behind him and Pitbull, who isn't actually that good, but he is Mr. Worldwide, I suppose. I hope you're looking forward to the season. And pop in the comments, where do you think we're going to finish? Do you think we're going to get promoted? Do you think we're going to go into playoffs? Or do you think we're just going to finish like 7th or whatever? mid-table obscurity. I have offered or asked for a new coaching course, but they told me that they didn't want to let me have coaching badge because they think I'd leave, which is annoying. But they did let me talk about it, and in talking about it, they then asked me to make a promise that we'd be fully staffed in coaching and that there wouldn't be any heavy workloads. I don't have that currently. They haven't given me enough coaches to start with, so I can't make that promise. So I couldn't get my badge, which is pretty annoying. But I do hope you'll be back for next episode. There's a lot of options on screen here. If you are enjoying the content, do me the favour of liking and subscribing, showing your support on the channel. And thanks a bunch for watching.